Okay, Unit 9, test correction. Sorry, it's taking a while. Number 1, the volume of a cylinder. Hold on, let me get my... Okay. The volume of a cylinder is 65 cubic centimeters. Which equation can be used to find H, the height of the cylinder? So on our formula chart, when we look at volume of a cylinder, the formula is volume equals area of the base times height. So it's not asking us what the volume is, or it's not asking us to solve it. It's just wanting us to see how could we solve it for the height. So if we know the volume, they're saying find the height. So we're assuming we know the base, area of the base, so we're looking for the height. So if we knew this, since this is being multiplied, we would just do the opposite and divide to find the height. So that would have to be B. Number 2, a cylinder has a diameter of 14, so a radius of 7, and a height of h, which equation could be used to find the volume of the cylinder. So same formula, area of the base times height, but we need to know that we're really using this one. Since it's a cylinder, our base is a circle, so area of the base would be pi r squared. So pi times 7 squared times height. Okay, so looking at my answer choices, I see 7, but it's 7 squared, which is actually 49. So that should be H. Number 3, beads are sold in a cylindrical container. There's that word again, cylinder, with a diameter of 13 centimeters. So remember, they give us the diameter. We want to immediately change it to the radius. So 13 divided by 2, 6.5. And a height of 4 centimeters. How many cubic centimeters of beads does this container hold? So we're actually solving for it. Remember, this is the formula they give you on the chart. But we want to use pi r squared times height. Now, if you look at all of your answer choices, they all have this tiny little pi symbol next to it. So it's saying 676 times pi is your answer choice. So since they are all including it like that, let's just solve this portion and leave the pi out of it, since that's included in those answer choices. So 6.5 squared times 4. So 6.5 squared times 4 is 169. So 169 times pi, so that would be B. Number 4, Maya has an exercise ball in the shape of a sphere. Shown below, she wants to increase the weight of the ball by filling it with water. Which value is closest to the amount of water in cubic inches that Maya's exercise ball will hold if it's completely full? So they gave me sphere, they gave me this word cubic inches. These are all 3, so that tells me it's volume. And volume of a sphere formula is that weird one, 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so they gave me the diameter, which was 12. I want to turn that into 6. So 4/3 pi... My pen stopped working. Times 6 cubed. So I'm going to plug that in the calculator just like I see it. Alpha y equals 4/3 times pi times 6 to the 3rd power. So caret top 3. And I get 904.77. So that's the closest. Number 5, a silo shaped as a cylinder with a diameter of 4.5, so cut that in half, 2.25 for radius, and a height of 9.6 meters is used to store grain. How much grain in cubic meters is stored if the silo is 3/4 full? Okay, so this is all volume. I've got my little 3's. So the volume of a cylinder, pi r squared times height, so pi times 2.25 squared times 9.6. So I'm going to plug all that in the calculator, just like that. And I get 152.68. Here's the catch. It said if it's 3/4 full. Is that completely full? No. So that would be completely full. So I got to get rid of that. Okay. Now I'm going to multiply times 3/4. So times alpha y equals 3/4, and I get 114. Number 6, a cylindrical, there we go again, cylinder, has a radius of 14.5 feet, so they already gave us the radius, and it's filled with approximately 4,950 cubic, so that means volume, feet of water. Which value is the best estimate of the depth? That's the same thing as the height of the water tank. Round your answer to the nearest tenth of a foot. Okay, so volume equals, again, pi r squared times height. And let's see, so we already know the volume, that's 4,950. We know pi. We know radius was 14.5, and we're just looking for the height, or how deep it is. So just like a one-step equation, I'm going to multiply what I can over here. So pi times 14.5 squared, and that's 660.5 times h equals 4,950. So my last step, if this is multiplication and I'm looking for this height, I have to do the opposite, which would be to divide. So one-step equation. So 4,950 divided by 660.5, and it's 7.49, so 7.5. Number 7, Jacob is preparing pancake batter. He's using a large bowl shaped like a half sphere, okay? Half sphere is important. With a diameter of 12 inches, so a radius of 6. What's the approximate volume of the bowl if it's completely full? So we have volume, we have sphere. That tells us what formula we need to use. So I'm going to go ahead and solve like I would normally solve this. 6. So alpha y equals 4 over 3 times pi times 6 cubed. Okay, and I get 904.78. But it's a half sphere. This would be an entire sphere. Well, spheres, that's not what a bowl is. A bowl is half of that. So divide that number by 2, and it should be 452.39. Next page, number 8. Isabel is designing a new fish tank that is shaped like a triangular prism, okay, with lateral faces made of glass. The bases of the prism are right triangles. Isabel's new fish tank will look like the diagram below. It's the lateral surface area. So come to your formula chart, under surface area, under lateral, and under prism, your formula is pH, okay, where P is the perimeter of the base. So my base is the triangle, so that means I add all of those 3 sides up and multiply it by the height of the whole prism. So I've got 6 plus 8 plus 10 is 24. 24 times 8 is 192. Number 9, a hollow cylinder is made completely of plastic material. Cylinder. Has a radius of 2.5 inches and a height of 6.8 inches and does not have a top or a bottom. So that means we're talking about lateral. What's the amount of plastic used to make one of the cylinders? So all these little squares tell us surface area. So I'm going to come under lateral surface area of a cylinder. And that formula is 2 pi r h. So 2 times pi times radius times the height. Plug it all in. So 2 times pi times 2.5 times 6.8 is 106.81. Okay, number 10, Justin wanted to wrap his mom's birthday present shaped like a rectangular prism with pretty paper. So he's gonna wrap it, cover, so that's total surface area. The box is 2.1 feet long, 2.7 feet wide, and 3.2 feet high. What is the closest to the total surface area? Oh, it told you, of the box. So total surface area, when I look at my formula chart, pH plus 2b. So P is the perimeter of the base. So I've got length and width. So my base, if we've got a rectangular prism, my base is going to be in the shape of a rectangle. So that means I'm going to add, I've got 4 sides, so 2 of these and 2 of these. So 2.1 plus 2.7 plus 2.1 plus 2.7. And I get 9.6 for the perimeter of the base. The height, they said, was 3.2, so that's the only time I'm going to use that. And then area of the base, if my base is 2.1 by 2.7, then I'm going to multiply those 2.1 times 2.7, and we get 5.67. So I'm going to plug all that in together. So my P, 9.6 times 3.2 plus 2 times 5.67. So I'm going to plug that all in the calculator just like I see it. Okay, last page. Bob is constructing boxes in the shape of a triangular prism. How much cardboard is needed to make each box? So that's total. We're making the whole box. So total surface area. It's a prism, so that's pH plus 2B. So on a triangular prism, my bases are those triangles. So when I find the perimeter, I'm just adding the three sides of the triangle. 8 plus 17 plus 15. Sorry, I marked it out. So let's see, 8 plus 15 plus 17, which is 40. Height, that's the height of the whole prism, so that's the distance between your two bases, and that's 7. I'm not using that again, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark that out. Capital B is the area of the base. So since my base is a triangle, I'm using area of a triangle formula, which is base times height divided by 2. Okay, and so it wants to find the base of the triangle and the height of the triangle. If you have a right triangle, then the base and the height of that triangle are the two sides that make your right angle. So 8 and 15. I don't need 17 anymore. Okay. So I'm going to do 8 times, 15 divided by 2 to get the area of my base. And that's 60. So now I'm going to plug all of this information in. So my capital P was 40 times the height of 7 plus 2 times 60. All of it in the calculator just like that. And we get 400. Okay, last one. Glenn is building a ramp out of plywood. He's going to use plywood sheets that are each 32 square feet. The diagram below shows the dimensions of the ramp. And this side length is 5 here is supposed to be Pythagorean theorem to solve that, but I'm going to give you that answer. Anytime you have a right angle, solving Pythagorean theorem, if you have 3, 4, then the other side is 5, just so you know. How many plywood sheets? Okay, so we're not looking for total surface area. We have to figure out how many sheets we can use with that total surface area. So we have to find it first, and then we got to split it up into the size of plywood sheets. So how many sheets will Glenn need to build all 5 sides of the ramp, assuming the bottom is also covered? So that's total surface area. And it's a prism, so it's going to be pH plus 2B. Again, I've got a triangular prism, so my triangles are my bases. Okay, so when I find the perimeter, I'm adding the 3 sides of my triangle. So 4 plus 3 plus 5. I don't know why I put it in that order. Okay, but that's going to give me 9, 10, 11, 12. The height, that's the height of the whole shape. And so I would, let's see, let's turn that into a decimal. So 10.4. And then I'm done with that. I've used my height. I'm not using that again. Capital B. Again, since it's a triangle, I have to use the area of a triangle formula. Base times height divided by 2. And that's the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle, the two sides that make a right angle. So 3 times 4 divided by 2, which is 6. And then plug all that information in. So I've got 12 times 10.4 plus 2 times 6, all in the calculator just like that. Okay, and we get 136.8. That's not an answer choice because we're splitting that total up by the size of your sheets because we have to figure out how many we need. So I'm going to divide that by 32, and I get 4.275. Okay, so if I need just a little bit over 4 sheets, how many am I supposed to buy? 4 or 5? 3, not 6. I need to go ahead and buy 5 just in case.